Hello everyone, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and in this video I wanted to show you a few more decks of playing cards from my husband's playing card collection. So he has quite a lot of playing cards. And I've already done one video showing playing cards from a specific brand called Theory 11. And today I grabbed a few really interesting, or at least I think interesting decks from the classic playing card brand Bicycle. So I have 4 Bicycle decks that I wanted to show you. And then I also have 2 kind of interesting decks that I think he mostly wanted me to show off because they're just kind of interesting. And so I have 2 here that are not from Bicycle, so I thought at the end I would just kind of show those as well. So in this video I'm just going to take a look at each deck, pull them out of the box, take a look at the back design, and see if they have any interesting face card designs, anything like that. So I'm going to move these out of the way off to the side and we'll take a look one by one. So the first one that I wanted to take a look at today is the Stargazer deck. So this deck is, as you can maybe guess by the name, kind of galaxy themed. And I know that Bicycle has a general Stargazer collection. I know that they have quite a few decks of Stargazer cards that are designed slightly differently. I don't know which one this one is specifically. It doesn't say anywhere. Maybe it did at some point, but this is kind of a little beat up. So all of these cards have been used or handled at least, so they're all open. My husband doesn't usually keep cards as like pristine collector's items. Like he often will get them as gifts and uses them to play games, or he knew quite a few magic tricks. He doesn't do as many magic tricks anymore. And so I did look up a few tidbits about each of these decks of cards, just so that I would have something to share with you. So I don't know if this one is specifically their like black hole deck, because I know they have another one that I think has like the crab nebula or something like that. So this one is mostly a black box, and then it has these like speckled stars and swirls, and I think that it just looks really interesting. Here is the back design. It's very cool looking, very neat. I love the colors of this one. So let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, these ones are just so pretty. So this is the back of the cards, and it's just the same design as what is on the back of the box. But what I think is really interesting about these cards, wow, that's really trippy. I'm not the best at handling cards. And these are pretty smooth. I don't know that we've actually used these ones very much. But what I find really cool about these cards is the fronts. So this is the front of the card, and this one is a 5 of hearts. And I think that the design is just so cool. It's almost like reminds me of like a neon glow. And here is a face card. So this is a jack, and it's just so cool. I love the look of this, and I don't know if my camera is gonna pick it up, but there's lots of like little speckled stars all over. It's very, very cool. Let's take a look at another one. Here is the Four of Spades. These ones are very, very smooth. They feel really nice quality. Oh, here is a 10 of hearts. I don't believe any of these decks are in any particular order. I think that they're just random from being shuffled. Here's the 10 of hearts. Here's a 3 of clubs. I think it's such a cool look. It's really fun playing games with these cards just because they look so different than your typical playing card. Oh, here's a king. That really looks cool. I think the face cards are just so neat on this one. Let's try and find maybe an ace. Ooh, that's really neat. This is the Ace of Hearts. So it has one single big heart here. That's really, really neat. So these ones are just really fun looking, and they're really smooth to play with. I can't do the card spread as well as my husband can do it. I can't really do it at all. But they're really fun to play with. They just look so neat. I think that the design is really cool. So this was the first one I wanted to show you all. Let me try and find an ace from another suit. I want to take a look at the other suit just to see what the design looks like. Oh, here's a diamond. Ace of diamonds. That's pretty neat. I just love how smooth they look, and they're just so pretty. So this was the first one. I'll go ahead and put this away. These were the Bicycle Stargazer collection. So I really like the box. I love the pretty boxes. I'm a sucker for pretty boxes. It's got like this silver metallic, almost like silver foil on the writing. It's really neat. Right. And this next one that I wanted to show you is the Bicycle Escape Map deck. And this is a World War II commemorative map deck. So I don't know if this is a very well-known story about some World War II history. I did not know it, but that could just be my ignorance. So during World War II, the United States Playing Card Company and the British and American intelligence agencies joined forces to create special decks that helped Allied war prisoners escape from German camps. So when those cards were moistened, when they added water, some of the cards would peel apart and they would reveal information or maps of different escape routes. So this deck of cards is in tribute to those special decks. And I thought it was funny on their website. It says that these cards do not peel apart when soaked in water, but they do have some map designs on the front of them. And when you place all of the cards in order, you get a continuous map. So I thought that was really neat. So this is a map on the cards, inspired by the original map decks that allowed escaping prisoners to find their way to safety. So I thought that was really neat. I hadn't heard that story before, and I think that it's a really neat idea to have something like printed on the cards that when you lay them out, like they have a design. So let's go ahead and open them up and take a look. So this is the backs of the cards. I think it's a very just classic design. The backs of the cards are not what is meant to be special about this deck. It is the fronts of the cards. So this is one of the jokers, and you can see that it has some information here, and this one also has some information. And I think if we were to lay out everything correctly, I actually wonder, I think my husband has kept these in order. That's really neat, so I'm going to try not to mess these up. So I don't know exactly what the order is. I don't know exactly how they would go, but the idea is, so this is a north facing compass like that, so I imagine that would go like that somehow. But I think it's a really neat, oh there we go. It's a really neat idea, and it just continues on like this. And I think if we laid out each suit all the way, so all of the spades, and then all of the diamonds, and so on, I think we would get this really large map. I'm going to carefully put these back in order because I don't want to mess them up too bad. So I don't know that we've ever played with these cards. These might just be kind of a special deck that he's kept just for fun. I think that he was gifted these cards. So I think that they're really neat, and some of them are, I feel like, very, very covered in information. But I think that was just a really neat story. I think it's kind of interesting to hear about some of the creative ways that intelligence agencies could get information out. So I thought that was pretty neat. Let's go ahead and put these ones back. So that was the bicycle escape map deck. And the next deck here is called the Shadow Masters Edition. And it says Rider back. I don't know if that has any particular meaning for playing cards. I'm not very well versed in playing cards, but here is the design of the cards. And when I looked up website. Then it said that the back design has a beautiful contrast that portrays a shadow look, and it said instills a sense of darkness into you. And I feel like that's maybe giving a little more credit to a deck of playing cards than it's owed, but I think that they're definitely very nice and moody. I think that the design with the little cherubs is really interesting, and it's got all of these swirls and intricate designs. So let's go ahead and open this one up. I don't actually remember what the faces of the cards look like. Oh, interesting. So let's take a look at the back. So again, it's the same as the design on the box. So this is the design of these cards. They're very, very intricate and really fun to look at. And the fronts of the cards, it is this very, very deep, solid black with this bright, bright crimson red. Oh, interesting. So that's for, this is the Six of Diamonds. So that one is red. Whereas the Queen of Spades, or I imagine all of the spade cards, are white. Okay, this does look a little spooky, I'll give them that. And the clubs are also white, so imagine, so the typical red suits are still in red, and the typical black suits are instead in white because the main card is black. So that's really neat. Oh, here is a Jack of Diamonds. So that's really interesting. It has the actual letter and the diamond in red, but the face card design, the Jack himself, is all white. Maybe you want to find like another face card. Here's another queen. It's the Queen of Diamonds. It's very cool. It's pretty spooky. This one, I think that we played with maybe once. My husband might have played with them more, but he and I only played with them the one time. And I think it was kind of hard. I think we were doing a game that was like about speed. And there was something that it was kind of hard to like accurately see what card was coming up. So I think that was a little tricky, but honestly they look really neat. So that's pretty cool. And again, they're very smooth. I think he has the most amount of bicycle card decks, but I think because they're probably like cheaper, and he's gotten more of them as gifts, but they're still pretty, decent cards. That is the Bicycle Shadow Masters deck. The next deck of cards that I have to show you is this Bicycle 130th Anniversary Edition. So it says, celebrating 130 years of playing cards. So this is from 2015, and they apparently started producing cards in 1885. Now, I looked up a little bit about this deck in particular, and this design that they included on these cards was one of the first few designs that they produced under the Bicycle brand name. And they offered this one in, I think it said red, blue, green, and brown. And this design was originally introduced in 1887. And this also includes an asymmetrical design, which they say is perfect for magicians. So I don't know if my husband has used this deck in particular for magic tricks. So this is the back of the card. It's just the same design that we have on the box, but these are the brown version. I don't know if for the anniversary edition if they released the original 4 colors, but at least the ones that he has are brown. So these are another just really smooth deck. And let's take a look at the fronts. So I think that these are just classic faces. Yeah, these look like pretty classic fronts, so there's nothing too fancy going on here, but I think that the main attraction of these cards is this back. I do think it's interesting that they mentioned that there's the asymmetrical design, and other than the corners being different, I couldn't really actually tell you what else is different. So I feel like maybe it's just that the corners are different. I don't know magic tricks. So I thought that these ones are pretty neat. So it has the brown design, and then the actual base of the card is kind of like a cream color, so it's not really white, it's not really yellow, it's just like a very neutral cream. So I think that these ones are pretty neat. I think that it's cool that for an anniversary edition they brought back a design that they had originally used. I thought that was pretty neat. Let's go ahead and put these back in the box. Oh gosh. The Bicycle 130th Anniversary Edition. And kind of in the same vein as the historical bicycle deck, these cards are actually cards that we got when we were, I think, at Valley Forge. I think we got these from the gift shop And these are a replica of 18th century cards. I think that they advertise them specifically as Revolutionary era cards. And these ones didn't have a box, they just came in this little plastic bag. And the backs of these cards are just plain, they don't have any designs. And these are all printed on a thick cardstock, so it is not your typical playing card material that you'll find in modern day. And the designs of them here, I don't actually know, but I think this might be a jack. I'm not entirely sure, but they don't, yeah, okay, so this is, well actually I don't know. I don't know what the difference between them is. So the face cards and all of the cards actually don't have numbers or letters to indicate what they are. So I think this one might be a jack. And then for example, the one of diamonds just has one single diamond. I think that this one is maybe a king. Maybe the hair is different. I have no idea. I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna see if I can figure out, but oh my gosh, these legs are killing me. Okay, get it together. So here are the 4 spades and the queen. She's given some serious side eye. And here are 4 clubs. So this is the 10 of diamonds. It's a lot easier to immediately know what card is what with the little addition of the numbers. Oh, maybe this one's the king. This one looks more king-like than either of these, I think. So let's put him in a new king spot. And I feel like this one also looks like the king, so maybe the king just like takes up more of the space. Maybe he's got like a bigger, fancier robe or something. This one is the 7 of hearts. I think these are really interesting. Oh gosh, look at this queen. The design of the clothing is really interesting. I do wonder if these artists had ever seen human faces. Okay, I feel like I'm being a little mean. I need to reel it back in. Oh, I don't actually know what this is. It says sixpence add duty, add M duty. I have no idea. Don't know what that is. I mean, if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know. I'm gonna put this one off to the side. I wonder if there are any other interesting ones. Okay, so it looks like that's the only like special card. Okay. I'm gonna gather some of these up. So when I was looking up kind of information about 18th century playing cards in general, I found a fact that by this one face up on the back like that because I don't know exactly what it is and I want to ask my husband about it and see if he has any idea. I don't know that we've ever played with these cards because I think that it just wouldn't be as practical and we wouldn't really want to like ruin them. So this was the 18th century playing cards. And the last deck of cards that I wanted to show you today is this deck called the Particle Zoo. And this deck comes in a plastic box. Well, like plastic acrylic box. It has these kind of waves and ridges all around. So it's not just a flat box. So I find that kind of interesting. And this deck in particular is a deck of different like physics particles, I think. So my husband is a physicist and I think that he was gifted this set. And let's see. So here is one particle called the Higgs boson, and it has a classification. It has different stats. I don't think stats is the right word, but it offers information on the spin, the charge, the mass, and the symbol. So this deck has all of these different types of particles. And I do not know much about physics, sadly. But I thought that this was really an interesting deck, and I think it could be even interesting if you have somebody in your life or if you yourself are really into physics. So these ones are very smooth. They feel very smooth. And the back here has these designs, which I imagine are like particle, like movement models or something. I have no idea, but to me it almost looks like a crazy solar system model. That's what it looks like to me. So these ones, when I looked up about them, it said that each card face is unique and features a different particle, including the standard model, theoretical models, and I thought this was funny, I asked my husband about it, what they call supersymmetric partners. And I don't know anything about supersymmetric partners, but I thought it was kind of a weird name, and he said that he's actually heard it called Susie, so like abbreviated SUSY, and he said he'd only ever heard people say Susie, but it could be pronounced Susie, I guess. So he thought that was really interesting. And here is one. This is dark matter. I feel like this is always like what people are most interested in. And the classification for this is theoretical, and the mass very heavy. That's funny. Let's take a look at this one. This one is a tachyon, and the classification is hypothetical slash non-physical, and the mass is imaginary. Here's one, an anti-proton. Ooh. I think it's funny, it's like the proton, but kind of like an evil version. There's an anti-bottom quark. I'll have to ask him what like anti means. Like what is that? Here's one called a glue ball. The classification is hypothetical. I always like the name quark. I think that's how it says quark. So I thought this was pretty neat. Again, I don't think we've played with this card deck yet. Oh, here's M1, M2, M3 neutrinos. We've got the little, like 3 little neutrino guys. It's neat. But I thought that these ones were just fun and could be, you know, a good gift if you have somebody in your life that is really into physics. And oh, look at the sides of these cards. I wonder why that is. There's kind of like a design on the sides of them. That's kind of neat. I wonder if you could use these for magic tricks as well. I think you could probably use most decks of cards for magic tricks. I hope that you enjoyed this little show and tell of some special card decks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful rest